welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and today we're doing one more of these fancy candy designs where it's a candy stripe, but it is made different by adding some left-facing knots that, in this case, makes these diamonds that run down the middle of the bracelet, which is amazing. I had put a lot of thought into how I was going to make the colors contrast. And so what I've done is you'll notice that it's starting out with light to dark with the brown, and then it's dark to light with the blue. So that's where we get most of our contrast from, is the lightest colors mixing with the darkest colors of the other set. So that was kind of fun. I have to admit, I mean, it's tempting to do this again and do the color sequence different. One of the possibilities I've considered is because there's two distinct areas, the area where there's 5 in a row and the areas where there's 3 in a row. And my thought is that you could mix up maybe 4 sets of fading colors, 2 with 5 colors and 2 with 3 colors, and make that somehow change up the bracelet, you know, overall look. But for having the 8 colors of 8 blue and 8 brown in this case, one of the neat things is when the blue runs alongside of itself, as it will here momentarily, it creates a larger faded area despite the diamonds in the center. And then the brown will do the same as well, which I think really works. It really gives the bracelet some kind of a cohesive look that I don't think I would have gotten in any other way. I did, like I said, when we were sitting down to do the pattern yesterday, I really gave it a lot of consideration as to which way I thought would be the best. And I think I can stand by it and say that this really did work really well. Like I said, you'll see here with the blue, joining up with the blue here in a moment. But one of the other things is you'll notice that it's the darker browns that make the diamond inside of the lighter blues, right? So that is, again, giving us a lot of contrast and really making this bracelet stand out. And it does that throughout the whole bracelet. The lighter browns are going through with the darker blue, the kind of vice versa when the browns come through. The light brown area has the dark blue going through the middle of it. So yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, here you can see the blues are starting to, it just extends that area, the gradient, all the way down from not just where the big diamond was, but where the small diamond is as well. I really think that works so well. It is such a beautiful bracelet, and it was incredibly easy. It took, I believe it was 72 minutes to make the whole bracelet, which for a 16-string bracelet is really good. And I suppose that the reality for why that happened so quickly is it is segment knotting, because it's so much easier to do this in segments. It just makes sense to do it in segments. Like these browns that are coming down now, right? I will do 5 rows because that'll make room for the 5 diamond in the center, and then I'll just continue out that row before I start the next area. It really just kind of almost forces you to do segment knotting. So if you're not used to segment knotting and you're looking for something that will kind of teach you the benefits, this is a great design for it. Absolutely beginner friendly. Because there's only 2 different knots. That is either going to the right or going to the left. And it's very distinct. It's not likely that you would make any mistakes in that aspect. As long as you're starting at the tops of the row and you're working yourself down like you're supposed to, I don't see room for very much mistakes in this one. So yes, very beginner friendly. What else can I tell you? It's it was really pleasing to work on too. One of the things that I always complain about is if a pattern is too repetitive, it feels like an endless amount of doing that task before you hit the end. But this one, there's only 3 times that it does the light brown diamond. So, you know, and there's only 2 times it does the large dark blue diamond, right? So it did not feel at all like there was this redundancy or trying to do things over and over. It just went really, really quick. You know, even like feeling like it was really, really quick, which I love that. You might notice a few times in there where I'm using some scissors, and that's because some of the strings were like, because I double up the floss so that way I can have a nice loop. The string had bits where one side was about 4 or 5 inches shorter than the other, and that always drives me insane. So you'll notice a couple times where the scissors come out and I'm trimming off that extra piece on the one side. It just makes it easier to pull the string through when tying the knots. It's nothing too bad, but it comes from all this string was scrap string left over from other projects. See, there goes the scissors again. It was left over from other projects. So if a lot of times when I cut my strings into thirds, I will use 2 pieces of it and set off the third one for future use. Well, this particular pattern uses 1 strand of 16 different colors. So it was a perfect chance for me to go through my totes and find out whether or not I had leftovers that could run a nice long fade. And it turned out, yeah, I did. I'm kind of tempted, like I said, to see if I have, you know, where I could do 5-3, 5-3 with the colors and see how that might turn out. Because I'm pretty sure I should have that, right? It's a lot easier than trying to come up with 8 colors in a row. But I don't know if I want to keep doing this pattern. It's fun, it's easy, but you know, I could move on to other stuff already. Yeah, the other stuff I'm wanting to do is, to this month was supposed to be all about blindside creations, and instead I blindsided myself with this one pattern that I can't seem to get enough of. So, yeah, we're kind of coming up to the halfway point. I think the halfway was probably in the middle of the next brown diamond. But you can see, like, right, the dark brown came across, the light blue made the diamond inside, right? Again with the contrast, again with trying to make it turn out in a way that just really brings the colors and makes them really stand out. I absolutely love it. And then the blue will come down and it stops at the last part of the last diamond. In this case, it would be where the light blue was. Again, it makes it really easy to see where you are and to help prevent from making a mistake, which I think is awesome. I think when it comes to making a bracelet, having visual cue to show you where, you know, a row ends, I think that makes it so much more easy and so much, I don't know, I love it. I think this is a great bracelet. If you should try to make this in other colors or change it up a bit, I would like to see your version. You can share that over on Discord. We have like an area for completed bracelets. We have areas for suggestions for, you know, patterns or designs that you want to see done. Heck, we got areas so you can show off your pets if that's your thing. So all kinds of stuff over there. It's kind of fun. It's a nice community. And yeah, you can come and join us over on Discord and show off what you've created. Because I really think this one has a lot of potential for doing other things. And so mine goes from dark to light and then light to dark. However, there is another alternative that might be really interesting, and that would be to go light to dark and then light to dark again. That would put the contrast of where it gets up to the darkest and then starts from the lightest again. So then there'd be a greater contrast at that line. Right now, it comes from dark to light, and then the fade starts from the light again and comes out. So it kind of blurs the line between where the light blue stops and the light brown begins. And I think that's an interesting effect, but there is the alternative, and I would love to see it. Like I said, I'm really so tempted in trying it myself. I don't know if I have the string for it, and I don't know if I want to put that much more time into it. It really kind of depends on you guys. If I get a lot of feedback, maybe we'll do it again. But yeah, if you have questions, ideas, comments, and stuff, leave them down in the description below, or not description, the chat area below, and I will try to get back to you. Or again, Discord has an area in case you want to share photos along with your description of what you want done. Because yeah, I try to help everybody. The only person I can say that I haven't been able to help is somebody wanted a bracelet that looks like the static on a TV set. And for the life of me, I can't imagine how to necessarily create that look. Part of me thinks that, you would just do black, white, black, white, black, white. But then it's going to look very uniform, and the static on TV is not uniform. And so it's the one question that has me stumped. I commented back asking, do you have a photo of this bracelet that you have in mind? Because if there's a photo, I can pretty much work out any pattern from a photo. I've proven that time and time again. But just this idea of a static bracelet, I have no idea. I can't seem to figure out what that would look like. So yeah, so we're beyond the halfway point. This is the dark one. There's just a large blue diamond, a small blue diamond, and then a brown diamond left to go. So not very much more of the bracelet left. I gotta thank you guys for hanging out with me and watching these videos. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel, and it doesn't cost anything to do it. If you really want to help the channel, you could become a member, and for $4 USD, you could help me to afford floss, because we go through an awful lot. This month is already shaping up to be a lot of floss going through. Even though like this one was going through the bins of leftover stuff, it's still been these big 16 string bracelets. So lots of floss. Last month was crazy. Last month we did some really big bracelets. Some 32 strings. There was three of those. So yeah, lots of floss used. And yeah, it's a nice way of encouraging me to do more, and lots of perks too. You get to hang out with us on the first Sunday of the month. You get to see the patterns earlier, because they're like this particular one, like that we're watching now, is more than a month like from when it's being recorded, from when it goes public. So if you want to see the videos early, maybe make something up before it actually comes out, yeah, it's a little bit more than a month ahead of time. So that's why it gets a little bit weird about the when did I get the string delivered. It really came down to the fact that I record so far in advance, because I want to make sure that, like, if I fall sick or anything should happen, I want to make sure that there are still the daily videos. And I like what I do so much, sometimes I really get way ahead of myself. Kind of feel like that's where we are right now, but that's okay. I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying what I do, and hopefully you guys are enjoying it as well. Hopefully you guys are being inspired and wanting to try some of these designs for yourself, because some of these are real doozies. I like this. I really like this one. This would probably, if you like kept doubling this one here would probably make for a really, really interesting bag. Super noticeable, super, eye-catchy kind of thing. But yeah, see here again, the darker browns are coming in, and it just is a continuation from where the light brown is. It just brings that all out. I think it looks so good. I don't know. I really do like this one a lot. I think I say that about all my bracelets, right? Like, oh, I like this one. But it's true. Like, a lot of times, if I'm going to make something, I'm making it because it's interesting or fun, or it was some kind of a challenge for me. And yeah, so it's not an exaggeration to say I enjoy a bracelet or I enjoy a design. Sometimes I'm enjoying it because it's nice and simple. Sometimes I'm enjoying it because I like the way the colors come together. Sometimes it's a combination of many things, like this one. There's like so much to enjoy about this bracelet. Even the ending to it, it was really clear that the dark browns came down and go off to the side. And an interesting note is now the blues are going to come across. So there's 3 browns and then the 5 blues, which makes it so that way either side with the braid, you have like one set of the opposing color. So that way the braids turn out really, really interesting looking. So like there's a bit of brown with the dark blues, and there's the light blue in with the other, or light brown in with the other blues. It just makes the tassels turn out really, really pretty. That's not something that happens every time. That's something that's just kind of unique to this. It had to do with the length of the overall bracelet. Mind you, it's one thing off the top and bottom from my normal size of the bracelet, so it's just a tiny bit shorter, but that way it could go right into the pattern and make the colors turn out really nice. So it is technically slightly shorter by 2 rows, but that's not enough that most people would even notice. So yeah, it's coming to the end here, guys. Big reveal coming up. You get to see the front and the back of it. Again, I really hope you enjoyed this, and that you're inspired to try something like this for yourself, because it's a great bracelet. It really is. All right, so thanks for hanging out with me, and as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.